Hey, Reg here, and welcome back to the blog. Those of you who've been following along know that I have been doing the Master Cleanse, and today I'm on day 7. I wanted to talk to you today about how I break up the monotony of the Master Cleanse when you're drinking the same thing over and over again. Even though it's called the lemonade diet, you do have the option of using fresh limes as well as fresh lemons. So if you want to mix it up, do that. And I've been doing it, and trust me, it makes it a lot more fun. That said, I'm not an expert on either the Master Cleanse, an expert on health, or an expert on produce, but I believe limes go from deep green and they get a little bit more yellow in complexion. Just make sure that you're getting ripe limes. It makes it easier to extract the fruit. I use this handy little tool. I do not know what it's called. It's a juicing tool, but I don't know what it's called. I found it, don't know where I got it, but if you can find something like this, certainly do, and it helps get more of the juice out. Another thing that I've discovered is that each piece of fruit makes about 4 tablespoons of juice, and this is pretty consistent. And I've been doing it this over the past 7 days, but this is my 4th cleanse for those of you who've been following along. So it's pretty consistent that each piece of fruit, and it really doesn't seem to matter the size of the fruit, makes at least 4 tablespoons of juice, which is a quarter cup. So to make things convenient, instead of measuring out the 4 tablespoons of juice, just go ahead and squeeze out your full piece of fruit, and then measure out a quarter cup of the organic grade B maple syrup, and then go ahead and add 20 ounces of water. Now, it's recommended by some that you make each serving fresh before you drink it. If that's convenient for you and you'd rather do that, you go ahead and do that. This is just a way that's more convenient for me, and that I know it's going to make it possible for me to actually do this cleanse, as opposed to stopping, 12 to 14 times during my day to make a serving of juice, and I end up having about 12 servings. Okay, something else, that this particular cup that I'm using is a 16-ounce measure, but if I fill it to the top, that's about 20 ounces. So I know that if I just fill this with pure water all the way to the top, that's how I measure. And so instead of having to measure 10 ounces twice, I just fill this up and add that to my easily measured juice, which is just the full piece of fruit squeezed, then my quarter cup of the maple syrup, and then 1 full container of this. I know I have 2 servings, and then I add in a couple of dashes of cayenne pepper, and I'm satisfied that that's close enough to the concoction. I go ahead and drink 1 serving right away, and then I put what remains into a little to-go bottle, so I can either take this with me in a cooler bag, or I can put it in the refrigerator, and then anytime I feel the slightest just urge to eat, I just go and have a sip of it. And that keeps my energy up all day, it keeps me from having cravings, and it keeps me from getting dizzy. So simplify your life, and that's a way that I found to make it possible to make the lemon juice. Also, it's kind of fun because you find when you're not taking time out to go and buy food and to sit down in restaurants and order food, that you have some spare time on your hands. So actually taking out the time, say 4 times a day, or 5 times a day to make lemon juice, it's actually giving you something fun to do. Also, just a bit of advice, and what advice is worth or opinions are worth. You may not want to tell every person that you know that you're doing the Master Cleanse. Part of this process for me specifically is that I want to clean things out. I want to simplify things, and I want to ease my mind and take my health back. One thing you may want to avoid is a lot of negativity from people, and hostility from people, and fear and confusion that may come from others when you talk to them about the cleanse. So maybe limit the people that you tell to people that you know are going to be supportive, and not necessarily that they won't ask questions, because questions are great, dialogue is great, but folks that kind of react with, "What, are you crazy?" or what is all this about colon health? It's nuts. People who respond that way, you may not want to talk to, and unfortunately, in my experience, I found that a majority of people respond to the cleanse in that way. That said, I'm really having a great time on the cleanse. I feel great. My energy has been really high. I've been doing at least a 3-mile walk every day to keep my exercise up, but also keeping it low key. So that said, I'm going to continue with the cleanse. I'm looking forward to 21 days, and I'll keep you posted, all right? So peace out and have a great one.